So, this is Austin from the Austin Yearwood channel, and this is the first movie review for the new year 2017. And I have a guest,
Josh
Josh
from
from Jojo
Jojo Reviews.
Reviews. Yes, yeah, this is Josh from Jojo Reviews. He reviewed movies, and we're here to talk about Underworld, the fifth Underworld movie, Underworld Blood Wars, and our thoughts on it. And it's supposedly
The final one.
the it's supposedly to be the final Underworld. Kate Beckinsale in her last turn as the heroine,
Badass Celine.
Celine, and we have Theo James is back as I almost
As
don't want
David.
as David. Yeah, I almost called him four. Yeah, when he showed up, I was kind of expecting a Shailene Woodley cameo, but that didn't happen.
First off, the villain.
Well, okay, it starts where Celine is an outcast because she
The
killed
events of
the first
the
movie. She
movie.
killed Victor, and the last movie is where she rescued her daughter from the crazy mad scientist asshole of Awakening, and she let her daughter run on her own, and then they went on their separate ways, and it turns out both lichens and vampires are chasing her, hunting her down. She's cornered by these lichens, and she fights them off, and when one of them gets too powerful, oh, there's David to the rescue, hits them with his car, and tells them like, hey,
Screw you.
like, yeah, screw you, and he tells her like, hey, you're needed. I was like, oh, and she's like all war weary and says like, oh, I'm done, and it's like, well, this war is not done with you, like we see many times in the trailer, and we have
The main antagonist is rather a weak villain, whereas the secondary antagonist is strong,
yeah
has a
the
stronger character.
yeah it's like yes it's like well yeah it's like what I've always like what he describes is what I always feel some way feel about American Ultra. It's like the main is well it's like the bad guy. It's like the main bad guy is kind of so and the henchman is kind of stronger, that being
As
Walton
was the
Goggins' character in American Ultra as Laugher. But we'll just have to one day do a retro Thursday review on American Ultra. But with this movie, it's like Marius. When you know, I
you
just
don't care about him by
I don't
then.
care about him. It's just he's just this big, tall, muscular dude who walks around with a scowl and 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 just walks around with a scowl and you
Thinks
know
he's all big and bad.
makes a bad and just grabs and intimidates subordinates by grabbing by their shirt collar or neck or whatever, and pretty much like the typical Saturday morning cartoon bad guy.
Yeah.
That's that's Marius. But the secondary antagonist Samara, who is like a council in one of the covens and who hates Celine more than life itself. She wants Celine's blood, and she does what she can to provoke a war. And yeah, of course, she
Yep.
gets what she wants. She's pretty much a bad guy who almost wins. And I don't know. She's played by Sarah Pulver, who's best known as being Adler on, her recurring role as Adler on the current
BBC
BBC,
Sherlock.
yeah, with Benedict Cumberbatch. And it's like Miss Pulver had fun with her role. It's like you could tell like she had fun the way
She
just
didn't take herself too seriously.
no. And it's like, okay, I'm not gonna win Oscars for this shit, but okay, what the hell? I don't know how it's looking. It's like I'm beginning to think that Miss Pulver might be on my best performances list of this year. I don't know. I'm not saying she'll be number one, but she'll be on there somewhere.
I definitely feel this is the last Underworld
Mm-hmm.
due to the way they end the movie without leaving it open for another one.
Oh yeah,
Which, if that's the case, they gave it a good send off. It's not your typical gore fest. It's pretty tame when it comes to the blood and gore.
yeah. This is pretty much the more tame or
It
calmer.
kind of harkens back to the first Underworld with how bloody and violent it is.
Well, yeah, it's like Awakening in 25 years ago was like way too gory for my taste. I'm like, okay. I'm like, Awakening was just a movie like you had to have a strong stomach or make sure you're not watching it on an empty stomach. Or yeah. So that as for performances, Kate Beckinsale was great as always. I feel kind of guilty. I didn't go see Love and Friendship. Um, but Theo James was great as David as he was last time around.
And the guy who plays his father was.
Well, okay, yeah. What's his name? Charles Dance is a great actor. Well, the
So, of
weird
course,
thing
he brought
as
his A game.
Thomas, of course, as Thomas, when they brought him in Awakening, I freaking hated him. And this movie, I know this is a bit of a spoiler. As just I was getting to like Thomas, he dies. Well, he gets killed by Samara. Okay, that's a spoiler. I really try not to give spoiler reviews because I would like you to see the movie. For this movie, okay, yeah, it's a vampire movie, and yeah, sometimes there's some.
It's been done to shit.
It's there's some jokes you think because well, yeah, you want to crack some Twilight jokes in your head, like when they walk in the sun, like oh, they didn't sparkle, or I'm like, or like when when they have this mechanical system that these mechanical louvers that come over the windows of Samira's the castle for Samira's coven is like, ah, don't you miss sparkly vampires who walk in daylight? Oh,
But overall, it's a great time.
I would say from myself I would give it. I've never seen the first one. I didn't really care for the prequel in 2009 prequel with Rona Mitra. Uh, I've seen the second. I've saw what's one
Evolution. The
Evolution.
second.
I've seen Evolution. I've seen Awakening. For this Blood Wars, I would give it 2 out of 4 stars. I would say it's a guilty pleasure.
I would give it 3 out of 4 stars. A grand old time, personally.
Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much our mixed review for it, mixed verdict for it. So you might want to share your comments below if you've seen it, what you think of it. And that's our video, and you have a good one. And yes, we will. And
We'll be back.
yeah, I'll be back next week. I don't know which movie I review, if it's Live by Night or Patriots Day, but definitely on January 20th we will have the new Triple X. We can Vin Diesel's back as Triple X. We can all forget that 2005
Colossal fuck up, which was
with
Ice Cube.
Yeah, exactly. And we can wash that out of our minds when we. And besides, it's
Wait.
coming on January 20th. That's the inauguration. So that's pretty much where the. If you're not someone into watching the televised inaugural balls, I guess go see the new Triple X movie. That's where the real party is. That's our video, and you have a good one.